determined by a drawing that we held just a few minutes ago. So they will speak in the order in which the drawing said. And then when they have finished those 3 minutes of speaking, then we'll go back through the same order, and they'll have 2 minutes. And they can either rebut, or they can choose anything that they want to talk about. They can finish the minutes that they didn't have when they were talking about their qualifications in the 3 minutes. So in the end, each candidate will have 5 minutes. We'll go 3 minutes, and then we'll rebut. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. Don't be alarmed when we get at 2.5 minutes, we're going to say 30, and they'll know that they have 30 seconds to wrap up their 3 minutes of talking or their rebuttal.
I would just like to tell you a little bit about myself. My husband and I, we're not from here. We moved here in 1997 with our 4 daughters from Ellington, Florida. We were looking for a place to raise our daughters that was a small town, and we wanted to get involved in our community and our children's education, so this seemed to be a really good fit for us here. When we first moved here in November, we immediately enrolled our 2 older daughters in Nelson Elementary, and my husband works for the power board, and I was home with raising my children, so I immediately started volunteering, joined the PTO, followed them through, used to drag the 2 little ones along with me, and just, if you were on any of those boards with me, PTO at Nelson, PTO at Page, I sold candy in the back there for Fun Friday, many Fridays. When we moved over to Collins, I was very involved there. And then when my girls moved into the high school and junior high, I became very involved in their athletics and anything else that the school needed me to do. I was always ready and willing to help out. And so when backing up, I have an associate degree in nursing. In 2006, I began working at Highlands Medical Center in the cardiac rehab program, and a couple of years ago they did away with that program, and we kind of bonded together, a group of my patients, and we formed the monitored fitness program. So I work from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, and just about every afternoon I'm doing something revolving around volunteering. So that is where my qualifications come in. I've been all around the system. I've substituted for about 6 years when the kids were little. I'm not a politician. I'm a concerned parent, and I try real hard to listen and be a voice for all the entities that I've been involved in over the years. So that's 15 years of experience in the school system, and I've worked with some fantastic people, and anyone who has been involved with anything I've done, they know that I have the work ethic and a passion for what I do. And anyway, our existing school board is well represented, but the lacking piece of the puzzle is an involved parent, and I really want to appeal to you tonight to vote for me on Tuesday. Appreciate your coming out here tonight and your input. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all coming out and taking part in this procedure tonight. And I'm Croft. I live at Plantation Point here in Scottsboro. Lived here for 40 years. I'm a CPA and I own Gant, Croft & Associates Certified Public Accountants. I also own the Traveler's Place, which is all Holiday Inn, and KC's Auto Sales, which we've had for about 25 years, and I hope you've had a good experience with us in buying automobiles. I attended Jacksonville State University, and I got a major in accounting and minor in economics. I passed the CPA exam in 1970, and I hold certificate number 880 from the state of Alabama. I'm a member of the Scottsboro Rotary Club. I'm on the advisory board at the airport. I'm a pilot, and I I'm a member of the First United Methodist Church, where I serve on the Children's Place Preschool Board, and have for a long time, not as long as married, but for a lot of years. My wife is married and she's CPA. Our daughter is Elizabeth. She'll be in the 8th grade at the junior high school this year. I said college the last time we visited in this position. But Elizabeth will be in the 8th grade at junior high school. I've got a son, Chris, who graduated a few years ago and was one of the leaders in our golf program here in Scottsboro. I've got a grandson, Matthew, who is in the 4th grade. I'm running for the school board so that I can better serve my community, the students, the teachers, the administrators, and the parents by contributing my time, talents, and passion to help our students achieve the educational excellence which we want for them to have so that they can become better adults. I'm qualified because I've been a resident of Scottsboro for 40 years. Know most all of you. I've been an active volunteer in the school system during that time, and I'm most familiar with the needs of our children and the school staff. I have a deep desire to make a difference in our educational process here in Scottsboro. I'm first and foremost a parent, and I want to be a voice for all parents. I want to listen to our teachers and administrators who have found it difficult to get their voices heard. I want each and every person, student, parent, administrator, and board member, to be all in for education. Parents need to understand the education process and the importance of their role and accountability in attaining quality education for the children. Does that make
Replaced one on the Scottsboro Board of Education. My wife's name is Vicki, and I have 2 children, Zach and Gabby, and I go to Hollis Methodist Church. Vicki and I are both retired from 20 years of service in the Air Force. Zach lives in Nashville where he works as a medical assistant, and Gabby recently graduated from Scottsboro High School and is headed to Jacksonville State University this fall. Actually, she moves into the dorm tomorrow. My education includes undergraduate degrees in aeronautical science and business management, and a master's degree in psychology. And if I can keep up the current pace of studies, I'll have my PhD next year. I served in several leadership roles over the years, and my leadership skills were recognized and awarded at the national level when I received the President's Quality Award in 2002. I'm running for the school board because I believe that every child deserves a quality education. And I believe that a strong community boldly works to create the conditions necessary for its citizens to be well educated. And I also believe that the school staff members, teachers, and principals deserve the school system support and the community support for professional development so they can better educate our kids. I'm an open-minded, independent thinker who enjoys serving our schools and our community. My 5 months on the school board demonstrate the conviction that I have for children and education. Previously, I worked in grassroots education for 12 years, and as a result, I've developed a thorough understanding of the current and future issues that face our schools. I look forward to putting my experience, skills, and talents to work for you and your children for the next 6 years. I'm open and accessible. You can contact me. Read more about my views at robertferrell.net. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your vote.
Standing here is a very humbling experience, and thinking back, I was in the last class that graduated from the school. And as I look out in this audience, I see people that I've gone to church with, we've laughed with, we've cried with, people that's been in my parents' home, people I played with. You know, it's even a lady back there that gave me a shot in a place you don't want to talk about one time, and she talked me into it, Margaret back there. She's laughing about it right now. But I have such wonderful memories of this city and this school. You think of people like Miss Ona Armstrong and Miss Davis, Mr. Porch, Mr. Collins. They didn't just educate children back then. They made good citizens of us. They taught us good character and good values. And I'm eternally grateful for those things. All of you that know me and grown up and been around this city, pretty much my entire life has been here. I'm an open book. There's not a lot I can say that you don't already know. I'm a pretty straightforward person. If you ask me a question, I'll give you an honest answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't, and I'll try to find it. If I have a problem with you, I'm man enough to come look you in the face and talk to you about it, and I expect the same from other people. My mom and dad taught me to be honest and work hard. You might not get as far as fast as some other people, but you can lay down at night and sleep and not worry about what you've done. And I hold those values very truly and dearly to my heart. I'm a patriot. I was in college, I joined the Air Force, I volunteered, I wasn't drafted. I wound up with over 30 years service to my country. I'm very proud of it. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever pulled a down row of corn behind a mule and wagon? Raise your hand. How many of you lived in a 4-room log house, no indoor plumbing? Huh? How many of you have been on security detail for the current President of the United States? How many of you have been in the White House? How many of you have been to the halls of Congress? You know, I've been fortunate enough to do that and serve around the world in different cultures. And what I've learned is this: nobody has all the answers. You have to ask the people around you to get those things. Some of my qualifications are, I'm a businessman. I've run multi-million-dollar insurance operations in Alabama and Georgia. I'm also the Vice President of the Alabama Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. I'm the Vice President, I'm on the advisory board of the Business Council of Alabama. I have a business degree from Northeast, a management supervision degree. I have a personnel management degree from Community College and the Air Force.
Speers, and being a former Baptist minister, I'm going to refer to my notes so that I won't ramble and keep us here to 12 o'clock, even though 3 minutes is allotted. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm the son of Barbara Doyle and the late R.J. Doyle. I attended Birmingham Public Schools. I graduated from Woodlawn High School in 1974. I played football for Woodlawn High School and earned an athletic scholarship to Alabama A&M University, where I obtained my B.S. degree in urban affairs. After which I have become achieved a Bachelor of Theology from Birmingham Baptist Bible College. I have a master's degree in school counseling, AA certification in administration. I also have an educational assistant, special assistant degrees, educational specialist degree, we call it EDD. And I'm currently enrolled as a doctoral candidate at the University of Alabama. I'm married to the former Kim McQueen of Scottsboro, Alabama. We've been married for 32 years. We have 3 daughters, Kristen, Rebecca, Stephanie, and our 2-year-old granddaughter, Kimberly Thompson. We call her Kimmy. 3 weeks ago, my oldest daughter, Kristen, who's in the military, has a slogan, from Army Greens to Beauty Queen. She won the Miss U.S. Essence National Beauty Queen pageant on last week. Actually, this is a re-election campaign for me, and as a servant leader, it just falls natural for me to work with people and to be about the business of creating a good lifestyle, a good income, and social economic prosperity for all of God's children. I just want to let you know, I am not a politician. This is what I do. And I prayed and asked God if he wanted me to be in this race, if he wanted me to be in politics, that he would have to open up the door. 4 years ago, he opened up the door. I have been blessed, and I just want to let you know that some of the great things that we have done here in Scottsboro have been life-changing. Meeting you and seeing you and working with you and talking with you. Now, to all of you that are out there in radio land and TV land, I may not have gotten by your house and hadn't knocked on everybody's doors. Because one thing, I've seen my opponent's signs in your yards, and so that's another reason why I haven't knocked on your doors. That's good. And I just want to let you know, as being an employee here in the Scottsboro City School System, I serve as the assistant principal at Collins Elementary School. And if I can help in any way at any time, I stand by my slogan, honesty, integrity, and accountability. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank the Chamber for having us here, K98 and the Daily Sentinel. And thank you for holding it in this auditorium, which is right next door to my house, so I got to walk. I'd like to introduce my family, my wife, Lauren Stewart. We have 4 beautiful children, Ethan, Ava, Chloe, and Mason. He's asleep back there in the back. My parents are Stroby Stewart, the late Hugh Stewart Jr. Her parents are local artists John Ward and Tammy Childers Ward. I'm a graduate of Scottsboro High School class of 1989. I was a class officer my junior and senior year. After I graduated, I went to Northeast Alabama State Junior College, which it seems like there's a lot of us up here that went there. They must not have very many qualifications to get in. I got my associate in science degree. While I was going Northeast, I was asked to go into a management training program with Walmart, which I did. I worked with Walmart for 20 years. Out of that 20 years, I was in management for 15. I was a manager of 2 separate stores. And the past 6 years, I've had the opportunity to manage 2 stores with Big C Drugs. It's been a blessing to be able to move back home and work in an environment in a small business, in a business that's so well thought of in Scottsboro and the medical field, and also with independent pharmacies throughout the country. A couple of activities that I'm a member of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church. I was a youth deacon when I was a senior in high school, and also teach Sunday school. When I moved back home, I went to Woodville High School and taught junior achievement to the senior class. Shane Small was the principal at the time. It was a 10-week program, and it taught senior highs how to do resumes and also how to go through interviewing skills. I also do that with the Impact Learning Center as well when they call. I'm a member of Friends Helping Friends. I was an assistant wrestling coach in 2006 when we won the state championship. That was an honor. And I've also coached Ethan 3 seasons in t-ball and soccer. I believe that my 20 years with Walmart helped me fine-tune my management and leadership skills to be an effective leader and decision maker that's needed for this position. And that's exactly what we need. And I'm the councilman for the place too. So next Tuesday, a week from today, please go out and vote Patrick Stewart for council place 2 for Scottsboro. Thank you.
I'm Brent Miller, running for place 1 on the City Council. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Scottsboro, attended Scottsboro City Schools, graduated in 1997 from Scottsboro, attended Northeast Community College. Most of us, I guess, have by now. And then went into the management training program with Walmart. Did that for a short time. Moved up to Chicago to work for a company, Meyer, in Chicago. We had probably average daily sales 1 to 2 million daily. I was over approximately 300 cashiers and baggers. So if you can imagine going into this store with 30, 40 registers running nonstop, it was a very large industry. And I was over, like I said, the cashiers, the baggers, but not only over the cashiers, baggers, scheduling, but also the cash office, so managing the daily money that came into the store, as well as the customer service desk. Now, there was an advancement opportunity there. I wanted to come back to Scottsboro, so I moved back, came to Huntsville, took a bookstore manager's position. Well, that wasn't good enough. I had to come back to Scottsboro, so I came back as the sports editor for the Daily Sentinel, did that for several years. Then I moved into the advertising director's position. While I was doing that, I decided I'd been into photography for the better part of 10 years, so So I decided I would open my own photography studio. So today I have the portrait collection, I have my own business. So again, some of the small business as far as coming into the city council, I don't believe that's what we need also with the background in that. So a little bit about my family. I'm the son of Dennis and Mary Miller, and if you'll bear with me, I'll have to count off my brothers and sisters. So I'm the youngest of 7 children. So there's Jeff Miller, Beth Miller, Danny Miller, there we go, and Joey Miller, Luann Tubbs, and Stephen Miller. Now, I have an interest in Scottsboro. I think it's obvious. I have a brother that's a police officer, one that's a county deputy, one that my sister's a school teacher. I have another brother that's a firefighter in the city. My dad worked for the city for many years. So my family, their children, that's the reason why I'm running. I want to continue to improve what we have here. And then as far as working with everyone to better Scottsboro. So on Tuesday, next Tuesday, please go vote for Brent Miller for place 1. Thank you.
Let me say thank you for being here tonight. I am Thermon, I'm a candidate for place 1 for Scottsboro City Council. I've been married for 36 years to my wife, Sharon Johnston Bell. We have 2 children, Todd and Tyler Bell. Both were graduates of Scottsboro High School. I graduated from Woodville High School in 1976, but also I came to Scottsboro through my elementary years. I attended Northeast Community College, where I received a degree in applied science. I'm a member of Center Point Baptist Church. Also, I'm a member of the Lions Club. I'm a member of the Community Service League here in Scottsboro. Also, I'm a member of the Scottsboro VFW. Also served 27 years active duty in the National Guard, at which I retired in 2004. Currently, I'm employed by Scottsboro Electric Power Board. I currently serve in the City Council Place 1. I've listened to your concerns for the last 4 years, and I've acted accordingly. And to the best of my ability, as for many of the times that I have and the resources that we have, we've tried to listen. As you're a re-elected City Council, I'll continue to listen and work as hard as I can to ensure Scottsboro is a prosperous, inviting place for everyone. I will continue to work with all departments throughout the city, namely the EDA, the IDB, and the CDA, and the Chamber of Commerce, to create better job opportunities for everybody. I feel that my military experience and the leadership that I have obtained over the years have allowed me to work well with others, helping to make positive and sound decisions and keeping Scottsboro moving forward. Things we've accomplished over the past 4 years, which I'm very proud of. Number 1, we've had 0 layoffs of city employees, and we've been able to give small raises. We've had no loss of existing city services in the last 4 years. We've had the creation of the Commercial Development Authority Board, also which would help us in commercial development. We've developed a 10-year drainage plan in these 4 years. Also, we have the access road, which I'm very proud of, which will enhance commercial development. Also, I'm proud of the solid waste generation that Mr. Speers has mentioned that we've accomplished. And soon opening will be our soccer fields and our tennis courts that we have. And one of the best things I'm proud of is the splash park that was created. It wasn't my idea, but I'm glad to be a part of that, and it's free to everyone to use. Also, we were able to procure funds to roof the public library, has already been mentioned, and we used that without pulling from capital outlay. The renewal of bonds from savings of $300,000. And this may not seem like a whole lot to many of you, but I feel like during some of the worst economic times, it's been pretty good. I've been a servant for many years, and at the age of 15, I started serving the Lord. At the age of 19, I started serving my country. At age 50, you, the citizens of Scottsboro, allowed me to serve you in Scottsboro City Council Place 1. I am again asking for your vote on August the 28th. Thank you.
Like Thermon and Gary have already given my talk, but we'll go ahead anyway. It's been my honor and pleasure to serve the last 4 years as your mayor. 4 years ago, I stood at this forum and shared with you my goals and my dreams. Tonight, I want to look back. 4 years ago, the relationship between the mayor and council was strained and almost non-existent. Today, our relationship could not be any better. We have a common interest, and that is to make the best decisions possible that we can to make Scottsboro a better place to live for our citizens. During the last 4 years, we spent over $2.3 billion in paving. The 4 years prior to that, only $968,000 was spent. 4 years ago, our landfill was releasing harmful methane gas into the atmosphere. Today, we capture that harmful gas and use it to generate electricity. We sell that electricity to TVA, and we see a $250,000 income into our general fund because of that project. Today, because of an on-site evaluation, we have an A+ bond rating from Standard & Poor's. They came to Scottsboro, evaluated us, and because of that, we were able to borrow bond money at lower interest rates, along with the Scottsboro City Board of Education and the Goose Pond Colony, who will also benefit from that. Today, 4 years ago, our tennis courts were in disrepair, our baseball and softball fields needed attention, and we did not have dedicated soccer fields. But today we have a beautiful and very popular splash park. We're about to open 4 new soccer fields, 6 new tennis courts, and we have made several improvements to our baseball and soccer fields. We have invested in our youth. 4 years ago, our economy was great, but in 2009 and 2010, we suffered through some of the worst economic times since the Great Depression. Our sales tax dropped almost 6%, but we survived these times. We did not cut any city services. We did not lay off any employees. We did not reduce any pay or any benefits of our city employees. We maintained our budget. We maintained our budget by asking our city employees and department heads to cut back and tighten their belts. 4 years ago, we did not have a city engineer, and we were still using zoning and subdivision ordinances that were passed in the early 80s. Today, we have a full-time engineer. We have updated our zoning and subdivision ordinances to help address our anticipated growth. We also adopted the city's first comprehensive drainage plan, which identified 10 priorities that we must address in the coming years. 4 years ago, we had never heard of a gravity way. Now we all have. We've weathered snowstorms, we've weathered floods, we've weathered a gravity wave, we've weathered a tornado. It was my honor and I was very proud to lead our employees through this time. Finally, in July 2009, Jackson County's unemployment rate was 12.1%. Today, it is 8.6%. This is due in part to over 330 new jobs that have been added to existing industries in Scottsboro. Thank you.
I haven't been in this position before, so I'd really like this opportunity to be a politician. I'm for all the young people, and I'm for helping all the old people, and all the people in between. That get everybody? I got us all. All right. Now, what I want to tell you is I've worked hard. I brought product and services to people and the tax dollars back to Scottsboro for 40 years. I feel like that our city is spending money that it doesn't have. We take in $25 million, I think, and some years we spend more than that. And I think when I was a young man in Scottsboro, we had no debt, and now we have an enormous debt. That bothers me. The city didn't lay anybody off. I'm in the private sector. I had 19 employees. Some of them cost me $300,000 or $400,000 to train, and I had to let them go. I went from 19 employees to 2 employees. That's not the city's fault, but it's got to do with where we are and how we're spending the bank debacle, a lot of things in the government. I feel like that us businessmen and that are laying the gooses that are laying the golden eggs are starting getting cooked. And I feel like that what we've done the last 10 years, 30 years, is we've changed to a wild spending. I don't believe I would buy a splash park if we paid cash for it. But my standpoint would be, I believe that's a private sector endeavor. That's a Dolly Parton thing. I don't believe that's a city thing. And to go in debt for $1.5 million, the debt service on it, whatever that would be, $3 or $4 million, be paying for it for 30 years.
I think a water hose in the backyard would be, until we got out of debt, would be the way I would want things to go. So I guess what I would say is I'm probably an orange in a barrel of apples up here. I feel like that if we take in 25 million, we need, did I get 30? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I just feel like if we take in 25 million, we should have a certain amount to spend on the debt and retire it and get back to help having interest income instead of interest expense. I've got some things in here for the second, for the next two.
Good evening, I'm Carol McCrary, candidate for mayor. I would like to thank everyone involved for sponsoring tonight's event. I also appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight to show your interest in us and in Scottsboro. In my race for Scottsboro mayor, I have gone door to door and met many of you face to face. I've done this because I believe that personal communication and honest discussion of the issues that are important to you are issues that I can embrace as your next mayor. This race is about making Scottsboro a better place in which to live and work, to establish a solid economic and social foundation for the future, and to address real concerns rather than cosmetic problems that result from negative remarks. I'm a 1967 graduate of Scottsboro High School, so that tells you that Larry and I are the same age, but I'm younger than he is. I've made my life here and worked diligently, not only in the private sector as a banker, but in rolling up my sleeves as a private citizen and as a member of your city council. I carry out my duties as a public servant under a firm commitment to integrity and purpose, bringing to the job at hand many years of experience. During my tenure on the City Council, I have helped with the implementation of our 10-stage drainage plan to create more paving throughout the city, sidewalk repair and street maintenance, replace the roof on our library, and will continue to work to complete the access road to encourage development along Highway 72. I also believe very strongly the relationship between the City Council and the Mayor's office should be a seamless relationship with all sides working as one to provide solutions needed. I am not a political animal. I'm a citizen who wants to make a difference. That is the reason that I'm running for mayor. I can accomplish more as your mayor that I believe needs to be done. Period. End of story. If you're ready to see Scottsboro move forward in a positive, aggressive manner on August 28th, I would appreciate your vote. Vote Carol McCrary, Mayor. Thank you.